Well, I grew up in Burlington myself. I'm a 1966 graduate of Burlington High School. All 4 of my kids grew up here. 11 of my 14 grandkids are growing up here. I've been driving a school bus for Burlington for 22 years, and I've just always volunteered. I love like the 4th of July. I love Burlington Pride Day and Truck Day.
She also goes to all the sporting events for the high school kids, so she makes herself present. She's always present.
I love the kids.
So we love Dottie. Dottie's been our bus driver, since I played ball, so she's very special to all of us. Nobody loves Burlington kids more than Dottie.
She was such a huge fan of boys and girls hockey here, football here, softball she loved. She was always around. And again, I feel that, she was such a connection with those teams.
We want to remember her. I think the entire town of Burlington wants to remember her. Athletes, there are parents that she drove that are my age in town that remember Dottie Yeadon.
A wonderful woman, a wonderful family.
I don't think I've ever not seen her smiling or laughing. So she's just a beacon in this town, and will be sadly missed.
I'm forever in her debt for showing me sort of the best side of Burlington, and I think that's really what she was sort of the best part of Burlington.
All I can tell you is make the best of everything you can, because it really goes by fast, and enjoy every day.
Listen, this is unbelievable. I can't believe how many people showed up. It's fantastic. The weather turned out great. The whole Board of Selectmen's there. Mr. Tigger said to me earlier, we can't get 5 of us in a room to vote on something, but my God, we're all here today, aren't we? So that's a good thing. We all know what we're here for. To unveil the sign for Dottie, who was pretty special to just everybody here and a lot more people that are in town. There's a million things that I could say about Dottie, and I'm sure we're going to hear from some people today about her. This just came to me one night. I was driving down the road and talked to Vicki earlier, and she was talking about wanting to do something for Dottie, and for some reason this came in my head. From that point on, I went to the board itself. All 5 selectmen voted in favor of it. Went to the school committee. Everybody in the school committee couldn't be any more happier. Mr. Conti was fantastic with this whole deal. One big thank you to Bob Kuna. He's the one that had the sign made. Even the athletic department helped out when I had to put the cover on it, because he didn't think I could get up on the truck and cover that up because I'm old, he said. Are you here? Oh, there he is. Okay, good. So anyway, before we really get going today, the Yeadon family's here. They're all going to get up and say something. But before we do that, I'd like to bring up Mike Espejo. He has a proclamation he'd like to read from the Board of Selectmen, the Select Board, to everybody, and it's going to be presented to the Yeadon family. Mike?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. This is awesome to see everyone's smiling faces. And a round of applause for Joe Morandi again. This was his idea, and I think there isn't a better way to honor Dottie, so great job, Joe. As Joe said, my name is Mike Espejo. I'm on the Select Board. I grew up at 16 Heritage Way, which is almost diagonal from Dottie's house at 15, and she was like a mom to us all in the neighborhood. And she was
with me all the time.
And she gave out full-size candy bars at Halloween, which was unbelievable. But I'm going to keep it brief. I know everyone wants to speak, so I'm going to read. We have a proclamation from the Select Board. From the town of Burlington, Massachusetts, from the town of Burlington and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the Select Board proclamation. Whereas, the town of Burlington would like to celebrate the life and legacy of Dottie Yeadon. Dottie was the true embodiment of what it means to love your school, neighbors, and town. For over 7 decades, she epitomized what it means to be a Burlington Red Devil, graduating from Burlington High in 1966, where she was captain of the gymnastics team, played basketball and softball. She helped create a strong sense of community and generosity that exists here in our town. And whereas Dottie was raised in Burlington and raised her 4 children in Burlington, aside from being a mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, and sister, her greatest joy was being a bus driver for Burlington Public Schools. When driving her bus 7 to various sporting events, Dottie would stay to cheer on her players, high-fiving and hugging them. Dottie was Burlington's #1 sports fan. And whereas Dottie received numerous awards and accolades throughout her life, in 2010 she was inducted to the Burlington High School Hall of Fame for her complete and total dedication to the student athletes. In 2018, she was awarded Citizen of the Year in the town of Burlington. She was also honored by the Rotary Club as their unsung hero by State Representative Ken Gordon. And whereas Dottie's kind, compassionate, and caring ways touched the lives of many in Burlington, she set a true example of how all of our children should be treated and how we should all treat each other. She always went above and beyond her call of duty and what was expected of her. As one community member described her, Dottie was the entire town of Burlington's extra grandmother. Therefore, the Town of Burlington Select Board does hereby proclaim the day of June 10th, 2023, Bartlett-Yeadon Day, and do declare it an appropriate honor to rename the Burlington High School entrance road to Dottie's Way and encourage all residents to celebrate her valuable contributions to our community.
Thank you, Mike. If you didn't know, that's Enzo. So one of the other things is there's a gentleman here, his name is John Devine. He's sitting right over there. John's worked with Dottie for, I don't know how many years, John.
Since I was more than since I was a friend.
Do we really want to go there, Vicky? Since Vicky was a baby. Timmy? Never mind. But John came out today to honor Dottie. With his bus. Yep. We're bringing in horses, I guess. So, there you go, John.
I learned how to drive a bus with Dottie. I'll cry here a little bit, but...
Just bring it up a little bit, John.
Yeah, I'll cry a little bit here, but...
I got you, you're all right.
We learned how to drive a bus together, and what she did in Burlington, she did in Woburn. For the 10 years that she was in Woburn, she drove the football team to every game. When they came to the fact that she worked in Burlington, she would come up here when Woburn would play Burlington. She would go hug all the Woburn kids. She would go over to Rocky Nelson, who was the coach, and she'd go over and give him a big hug. And when she was all through, she'd say, "Rocky, we're going to beat you." She did the same thing with the hockey team as she did up here in Burlington. It was a great pleasure for me to know her and to work with her. I wasn't her boss. She was my boss. All right? And she was probably the most quality person you could ever meet in your life. And to be able to take these 4 kids as she did and bring them up and be everything to everybody is quite a tribute. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, John. So before we're going to unveil the sign here, there's a bunch of people I could just start thanking, and they're all sitting out there, and there's other people that couldn't make it today. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to the Yeadon family. I think the girls have something to say. Then if somebody wants to get up and say something about Dottie, there's a million stories we could tell. So who wants to go first? Okay, there you go.
Hi, I'm Tracy. I'm Dottie's middle daughter. First, on behalf of the Bartlett and Yeadon families, I would like to thank Joe Morandi, the Select Board, and the school committee for suggesting and unanimously supporting Dottie's Way. I especially want to thank all of you, not only for being here today, but for all the love and support you have generously given my mom. 5 years ago, we were told that she had stage 4 cancer that had metastasized to her bones and her brain. Being who she was, instead of breaking down, she was consoling us. With each test, we got more and more bad news. We found she also had colon and kidney cancer that were unrelated to the breast cancer. Finally, we got the most devastating news, that her brain cancer was on her brainstem and on her way to her spinal fluid. Once it hit the spinal fluid, there was no way chemo could touch it. Nobody had ever been able to beat that kind of brain cancer before. They gave her 3 months to live. She was still consoling us at that point. Through the power of all your love and prayers, she never stopped believing, and she was the first to beat the cancer before it got to her spinal fluid. That's when Don't Stop Believing became her theme song. After months of aggressive chemo treatments, she got the news that finally broke her. She was told it was no longer safe for her to drive a school bus. Those words were tougher for her to hear than, "You have terminal cancer." The first thing she said was, "What about my babes?" And she didn't mean us. She always loved and cared for the children in the community as they were her own. She felt guilty if she had to miss a game or event and would ask us to rearrange our events so she wouldn't have to do that. Because she has 4 children, 14 grandchildren, and as of Thursday, 4 great-grandchildren. Congratulations again, Trevor and Emily. And Stevie. For her funeral, we had one person speak for each group. My niece Kylie was elected to speak on behalf of the grandchildren. She had each family write up a fond memory, and she put them together for her eulogy. I would like to read what my children, Alyssa, who was a BHS class of 2017 graduate, and my son Ricky, who was a 2020 graduate, wrote. Although we all know Mama's favorite sports were football and hockey, Alyssa and Ricky tortured Mama by choosing long-distance track and cross-country. Even though it was not as exciting as the games she was used to watching, she would be there to cheer them on at the beginning of the race, and 10 minutes later when they reappeared, she cheered them on again until the end of the race. After the meet, she would not only hug Alyssa and Ricky, but every other member of the team, and every spectator as well. That's who Mama was. She always showed up for people, and nobody left without a hug. She never let anyone feel unseen, and everyone felt her love. Alyssa and Ricky always felt her love and support. Even though it was annoying to wait in line to hug their own grandmother, they were glad the entire town got to experience what it feels like to be cheered on with such love and warmth. She always was sincerely proud of everyone who tried. I felt their words described why this sign is so relevant. Between all the times she drove here for her children and grandchildren during their high school years, as well as the years driving students and teams on the bus, and being at every home game, concert, play, and event at the school, she probably drove this road more than anyone else in town. And it is fitting that every team and club will see the sign on their way to every game and competition, and remember she is always watching and cheering proudly. Thank you all again. And here's Michelle.
Can't drink that. I am going to be very quick. I went to a funeral service one time, and the minister there talked about the dash, which is the time between the start of your life and the end of your life. My mother's dash is so full of love and kindness and happiness, which is what brings us all here today. I hope that we all leave here today trying to make sure that we can somewhat compare to her dash. I know I strive every day to be half the grandmother she was and the best daughter for her that she could have. Her dash was unmatchable, and I can only hope to try to match it every day. So here's to Dottie's dash.
One second. Hold on, Vic. So right now, if everybody could just turn and face that way, right there, and just wave.
Is that my husband?
Just wave. Timmy's up there. Well, he's not up there. He's over there, actually. So if he's up there, we're in trouble. So I just want to wave. Hi, Dottie. How are you? We're still here for you. We love you. There you go.
All right, I'll make this short and sweet also. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Joe, and the selectmen and school committee and everybody who made this possible. I do want to reiterate what John Devine said, that her legacy in Woburn was the same as Burlington. I was a mall rat back in the day, and Woburn, I would meet up with Woburn kids, and they'd be like, "Dottie's your mom?" And I was like the cool kid because Dottie was my mom. So, again, thank you all for being here. My son is going around passing out bubbles. Somebody recommended we do, or whatever. Somebody, anyway, suggested. That word to say, but suggested a balloon release, but it's bad for the animals, the environment, blah blah. So we're passing out bubbles. You can send well wishes, memories, anything you want up to. Go. to give up. Yeah, Chase, did you? Stevie needs bubbles. Chase. Oh, all right. So start sending your well wishes, and if anybody would like to tell a story or share their memories of my mother, quick, yeah, make it quick. You're more than welcome to. I will say most of the stories I got were from parents who were not comfortable sending their kids to school, and my mother made them feel comfortable by keeping them safe on the bus, and from her and her she had specific playlists. She dressed up for Halloween, and she also made the siblings of her kids feel excited to go on the bus. She would always have treats and little things for the siblings standing at the bus stop, which was, Mom. And always with the treats. What else was I going to say? I feel like it's in the situation. Oh, yeah. Right, I'm just kidding. And sometimes we were jealous of the kids in town because she really, we could be somewhere and she'd be like, oh, Johnny Appleseed just got a dog and his sister is so-and-so and they live on this street. But she would know your whole life story and she would share it as if you were her family. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Robin Lamb, for everything you've done for our family. We love you. He wants to tell everybody I'm the favorite sister.
But I'm the favorite son.
And I'm the prettiest.
But I'm the favorite son. I think if there's one thing about my mom, I want to thank Joe and the school committee and the selectmen and everything and everyone showing up today. We really appreciate all of it. I think the one thing my mother really did better than anyone else is find happiness. Yeah. And her happiness came from her siblings, her in-laws, her kids, her grandkids, and everybody in Woburn and everyone in Burlington. And if you can take that away from her, try and be a little nicer to everybody, try and respect everybody, and I think that's all she really did, and I think that's why people loved her. Hugs are good.
They're not my favorite.
Enjoy the weather. She made it beautiful for us today, and I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. There is one more thing I'm going to just come up with real quick. So there was a time when somebody very close to me passed away, and all I heard was, what a legend, what a legend. This is a legend. This is an absolute legend. And this here will be there forever. I'm hoping we can figure out something to do every year so that the kids coming up from the future don't forget who Dottie was and what she did. So this is all about Dottie. You can say thank you to me a million times over, but it's not about me or the select board or the school committee or anybody else. It's about the woman that drove that bus every single day for every kid in this town that had a sporting event or band or whatever they went to. So it's all about her and the family. I believe you have something to say right now? Sorry, I forget your Reverend?
Reverend Dan Bell.
Reverend Dan Bell.
Do the big reveal and then have blessing.
Okay, we're going to do the reveal first. All right? So who's going to do the reveal?
Chase.
Chase, where are you?
Emmy.
Emmy too. You can come too, Emmy.
Can he reach up?
Oh, yeah, let's bring the girls up. Come on, Em.
Actually, yeah.
You didn't want to talk the other night.
Anybody who wants to be part of it, come on up.
Come on.
All the grandkids, I guess.
Stevie, want to come? Auntie will help. You want to come see Auntie? Where's he? He's off the quiet.
He's probably in the bathroom. All right, Chase. Go, Stevie. Go, Stevie. Go. Go, Stevie. Go, Stevie. Go. Want to help?
Okay, ready? You pull here, Stevie.
Go ahead. You do one side. Stevie does the other side.
Make sure you get the bottom. You're not doing the same thing. It's not. Yeah, you pull that side and Stevie will pull this side. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, go.
And here you go, sir. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Reverend Dan from St. Mark's Episcopal Church, just down the street. Offer this blessing as we dedicate Dottie's Way today. May this street sign, dedicated in Dottie's memory, be a guidepost for each and every person who passes along this way. May her example guide us to become more loving, more caring, and more concerned for others than ourselves, as she was. May this newly renamed street be a path that leads to more open hearts and minds for all the students who come along on this way. As Dottie's favorite song says, don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling. And it's that feeling she gave to so many of being known and loved and appreciated. So don't stop believing, my friends. Let the love that was in Dottie be in you this day, and then go from this place and share it with the world. And now may every good and perfect blessing be upon this sign, upon this street, and upon all of you this day and forevermore. Amen, and may it be so.
Thank you. So right now, is anybody would like to get up and say something about Dottie? The mic's here.
Last chance. Going what?
No?
Robin, go Robin.
Come on, Robin. Come on, Robin. Well, you can read it. No?
Oh, Mike's gonna help her.
Oh, Mike is? Oh, here you go, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Didn't even know you were there.
Robin asked me to read her card. Where do I start? This tree is for you. You live in our hearts forever. For Dottie's family and friends. From all of us Burlington children. Dottie, my beautiful angel, you are a blessing to me and the Burlington land. We always love you, honor your kindness and legacy, Donnie. You made me a better person with your loving, caring heart. You have touched my life in a very special way. Thank God for you, Joe Morandi, and everyone. Burlington, red, white, and blue. Burlington, we love you. Make this day special in honor of a life so beautiful, loved by all. You are the mother of Burlington. Your wings fill us with love and miracles. Love and kisses until we meet again. Thank you to the fire, police department, and everyone that loves and supports Dottie, her families. You are appreciated so much.
One more.
Those we love remain with us, for love itself lives on, and cherished memories never fade. Those we love us more than can never be a thought apart. For as long as there is a memory, they'll live in our heart.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Everybody's great. Huh? We've been hugs from everybody today. Okay, so is there somebody that would like to get up and speak before I say thank you for coming? No? We're good? Nick Priest? Don't laugh, Mike. You can be next. No? We're good? Anybody? Thank you so much for coming. The family really appreciates it. I know I do. And God bless you all, and we'll see you. Yeah.